Welcome to our Rolemaster actual play session. Ain't No Place for a Hero is a campaign set in the world of Duranarki, the continent of men. A gritty, cutthroat world where politics, sorcery, religion, and commerce are all intertwined and reign supreme. Treachery and murder both come cheap, and characters need to be both smart and ruthless to survive. We hope you enjoy our story, and, as always, may the dice roll in your favor. This is episode 80 of Ain't No Place for a Hero. The party, in search of the wisdom of the retired diplomat Ningwen, have arrived on the island of Dan, only to discover that Ningwen's palace is under siege. Our story resumes as the hero party reaches the Watergardens of Ningwen's palace, where they encounter a standoff between the assailants and Ningwen's faithful staff. Hello, my name's Chris, otherwise known as GM Chance, and welcome to our story. The 6 images you see on screen are our heroes, are the characters that are being played tonight, and in a second or two I'm going to ask each one of the players of those characters to introduce their characters and answer a character question that I send out a few days before, a bit about who their character is, what makes them tick, and basically just for me as the GM, for themselves as players, and hopefully for you as viewers to gain a bit more knowledge about the 6 characters which are on screen. Before I do, two very quick notes. Two very quick comments from me. The first is a massive shout out to our subscribers, our audience, I guess, the people that are watching this and hopefully enjoying this video and the others that we've produced. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you for clicking the button and hanging in there and making some great comments online, supporting us, ticking our boxes on the various polls that we do. And if you haven't had a look, by the way, we usually run in the community section on this YouTube channel, we quite often run polls or questions and things on this channel, so encourage you to have a look there if you haven't already. And just a shout out to some of our newer subscribers. So within the last few days, Morton E, Brad Stanley, Hypersphere 412, Marco Lito, Gregory Small, Shane Herbert, Patsy McDowell, Christian Middendorf, Ryan Russell, and Calvard27. All of you and everybody else is very welcome indeed. Thank you very much for subscribing, and thank you for the support. What we would say to anybody watching this channel that hasn't yet clicked subscribe, our request is, if you're getting something out of what you watch, if you find it amusing, if you find yourself laughing at something, if you're a GM or a player and you learn something and you go, oh, that was really interesting, I really liked how Demos did that, or I really liked Keros's approach to how she handled that situation, or whatever. If you've got something out of what you're about to view tonight, as well as entertainment, really encourage you to tick the box down below. Either a subscribe or a like would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, thank you to our supporters. Great you're enjoying the show and enjoying the story. Next comment is down below. I always do this. My camera is here, and I always seem to do this. Anyway, down below, down there, in the comment section, in the description of the video, there'll be 2 links. The first link is a link to a 5-minute overview of the story that's happened before in this game. And then there's a longer link, there's a link to a longer document, which is a PDF, which describes the story in a bit more detail. Why, you may ask? The answer's pretty simple. Tonight is episode 80. We started recording these episodes around about episode 60 for this campaign. So there's been quite a lot of material. The story has travelled for a long time without being recorded. And those two links, which I mentioned down below, will help bring you, a viewer, a bit more up to speed with what the major story arcs are in the game, what's kind of happening. So encourage you to have a look. I did it again, down below. Fantastic. So, handing over to the stars of the show, to absolutely the people that you're wanting to hear from, I'd like to call Mason to introduce your character, please.
Thanks, Chris. Kia ora, I'm Mason. I play Demos. He's a big, hunky mixed man in his early 20s. He joined the party. Probably wasn't actually technically that long ago. After he'd spent many years
Do you want me to find
bodyguarding how long he's been with the party for.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool.
I feel like it's technically been like a month.
It's probably about that, actually.
Yeah.
So today's the 13th. Meets Etienne 28th. 1 month and a half.
Nice.
There you go.
So not super long. He's spent the majority of his life bodyguarding a princess who, kind of became his best friend, but then she got married off, so he decided to leave what became his home and go look for his sister who's been missing for basically all of his life. So his question today is, when and to whom have you felt most grateful to another party member for their actions and why? Probably either the last episode or the episode before. He's quite grateful to Miss Aunt just for being quite blunt and non-empathetic to the guy that we had to question when he was, his face was melting off and he looked half dead. Demos just didn't think he could really stomach questioning someone like that and not being able to just put him out of his misery. So grateful for Masan for being there and doing that.
Yikes.
Yeah. I will pass over to Graham.
Excellent. Thank you.
Right, thank you. I play two characters, and the first which is Nyathanol, and she is a Magent, which is a mix of stealthy person, fighting person, and magic person. She's a female elf, relatively young, and equipped with a short sword, quite smartly dressed most of the time, when she's not been in a desert for 3 weeks, or similar. And is a complex character, very religious, and has some somewhat unusual views about how society should be structured, and her part in rectifying that. She, in terms of our questions, which I've now subsequently lost.
Would you like me to bring them up? You got them?
No, I've got them here. Here. Grateful to another member of the party, and why I probably, we've been sort of together now for a good while, and I think probably every single member she has been grateful for at some point down the line, many times over. I think she's always relieved by Leif, who just keeps his mood up, happy-go-lucky kind of guy, decent person. She doesn't really consider herself to be decent, but she kind of admires Leif. He's always been good to her, and he's always a friendly face, no matter what shit's going down.
Excellent.
Mostly it is. Our second character is Etienne. He is a half-elf and very good-looking man, very charming. He is a holy warrior, a type of paladin in this game called a janitrist, and a follower of Aphrodite, goddess of love. And he's very principled guy and likes to spread love around the world in many forms,
Various ways.
in various ways. Leave that to your imagination. Although we haven't really got into that much, but it's probably just as well. So he normally looks like that, all plated up. He's got a new holy sword he's quite happy with. Not that he's got to use it much, but suspect he might very shortly. And yeah, he's on a mission from God. Yes. In terms of being grateful for the party, I mean, again, he's had reason to thank most of them, but I think he's been particularly impressed by Karios and her use of magic, which has often spectacularly turned the tables on our foes, and as recently mentioned, taking out that nasty in the sky was one of several notable times when she's got us out of the poo. So yes, I would say so. And I will hand it over to Pete.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Kia ora. Before I talk about Leif and Nathan, I just have a question. Well, Leif has a question for Neathanol. So, interesting that you were mentioning how she has beliefs about how societies should be structured. So, this would be a question he would have asked her now that he feels he knows her and feels that she might trust him to be non-judgmental, basically. And probably would have asked perhaps when we were on the island, because we have not much else to do there, or something like that. But he would have quietly, and just the two of them. But I think it's safe to share it here. He would have asked her about way back in the Clouded Path Monastery. So this is back at the beginning of our campaign. So this was in Cropelin, and we'd had some sort of run-in with an angry crowd coming to this monastery because they didn't like them because they were foreigners, and it was led by this man called Chester Malcroft, and we called him the Beanbag, and he was because he's wearing a leather cloak or something, I can't remember, and he was the mayor or the town master of Fendalen, the nearby town, and I think that night Leif was on watch, and he saw Neathanol climbing over the wall of the monastery, slipping out. And the next morning we learned that Chester Malcroft had somehow died in Fandalen. And just, Leif's question to Neathanol would have been just a very quiet, did she know anything about that? Did she have some sort of, was she restructuring society somehow? And he would not press her for an answer. He's not owed an answer, but he just was curious. And basically, I mean, the reason he'd be asking her is if that's her business, he's wanting to demonstrate his trust in her by asking, and that he's taken this long to ask, and that there's no judgment.
Yeah, I mean, she's cautious, but having known Leif for a while, she's not particularly that fussed what other people think of her. She would explain that part of her belief system is to rid society of the corrupt, tyrannical, and including the weak and vain in that. But certainly she has a very low tolerance for abuse of women, having been subjected to that herself. And so when she sees that going on, she is concerned to act. She saw an arrogant, misogynist man who had been seemingly not treating his wife well at all by any regard, and in her world she decided that village would be better off without him, and they needed a better leader, and so she took it upon herself, and she fully admits that it didn't turn out quite as it could have done in terms of the actual villagers ended up blaming her, which was a neat little trick by the GM. But obviously we did.
Sorry, who do you mean by her?
The wife of the village leader, who got framed for the murder. However, I think several of our characters did facilitate her escape, and we did see her again, the wife, on our journey south. And she came up and thanked us for assisting in getting out of her situation, I believe. I think that's how I remember it anyway. So yeah, I mean, no, she'll fully. Yeah, that's what she does. I mean, to be honest, that's what she normally does, but she's been a bit busy doing other stuff of late.
Oh, that's saving the world, my goodness.
That's that sort of thing. I mean, if she wasn't saving the world, no doubt she would be committing more arbitrary murders, but you know.
Welcome to have a one-on-one session with me anytime, Graham. Or anybody else, by the way.
We're just busy.
You are busy. You've got lots to do. Excellent. Thank you, Leif.
Oh, well,
you asked your question. Do you feel comfortable with your answer?
Yeah, well, he would have been very, he would have congratulated her on that and said, good job done, job well done.
Excellent.
And yeah, it fills in a little bit of knowledge that, just a question he'd had for a little while. Yeah.
Excellent.
Anyway, so about Leif.
About Leif, yes.
Thank you, Nathan. Thank you, Graham. Leif's a half-elf warrior mage. He can fight with a sword, with his hands, or with his magic. He's a friendly guy, and likes to get on with people, basically. The question I'm going to answer for him, which when and to whom have you felt most grateful to another party member for the actions, and why? Definitely second what Neathel said. Every one of this party has saved each other multiple times over. But I'm just going to quickly run through perhaps a few examples. For one, when we were on the Triumph of Petrides going to Travern, there was the people trying to steal the money, and we caught them in the act. And Leif rushed into the room and was not doing so well until wonderful Demos came up and stabbed or hit or joined the fray, and I think definitely saved Leif's life at that point. As Nathaniel said, definitely Keros is always coming to our aid with her wonderful magic, and there was another example of that on that boat. I think she got up very close and did put some point blank ice bolts or shock bolts, which really put her at risk, but that's sort of passionate person she is. So very grateful there. Who else? So Neathanol, very grateful to all of her sneaking all the time. And there was that time on the road when we saved that after we'd been shipwrecked, and we saved that guy. And I remember Neathanol sneaking along in the bushes and did an amazing ambush on an archer. It was just brilliant. Etienne in the Vault of the Righteous Wing, he was using some of his magic to ward off that undead caterpillar, whatever it was. Centipede, that nasty, and that certainly tipped the balance there. It was going to could have been quite different if it hadn't been for him. So that's Leif.
Excellent.
I'll also be playing Mithan, who's quite an unfriendly sort of person. She's very good with the bow. She's a ranger, so she likes the outdoors. She is a high man, or her race is high man. The question she's going to be answering is, what kind of clothing would you wear to a party? The answer is she wouldn't go to a party. She's got no interest in going to parties. She does not hold with them in the slightest. If she had to, she would make no special effort. She would just wear her clothing.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you very much. And there is only one last person, so you're throwing over to Alex.
Me. Thank you. Kia ora, I'm Alex. I play Keros. She is a North woman and she's a storm mage. And very grateful for those very kind comments. She is pretty cool at the shock bolts and the power bolts and the ice walls, and yeah, she just gets amongst it and does her best. She is she's quite a sweet person. Some might say naive. She's got a sort of strong moral compass. Very childlike, emotionally labile is probably being generous. But a nice kid, I guess. I mean, she's in her 20s, but as I said, very, very juvenile, but with a heart of gold. She's also got her wee buddy Victory, and obviously thanked the other party members off camera for the epic rescue and the blood and murder and violence that was perpetrated in order to rescue Victory, who was a very valued member of the party. So I'm going to be cheeky and answer 2 questions because they kind of link, and I think it gives you a bit of an idea
Go for it.
of Keros. So what kind of clothing would you wear to a party, and do you wear makeup? Would you like to if typically you don't? So she doesn't wear makeup. She was always in awe of the girls in the Cloud Club. Think Gossip Girl mixed with Hogwarts, who were very cool and had their eyeliner and their lipstick and their lip gloss, and we're doing YouTube tutorials on what's that? We get the cheekbones, the different colours. Her owner's also not very good at makeup. But she would definitely be into it. She would be hopeless at it. She would look like a clown, and she would have her full face on. Going to the party, she would be very excited, but she has no clue. So it would look like she had raided the op shop. There would be a pink tutu with a knitted green cardigan that's too big and probably has a hole in it, mismatched buttons. She'd shine the boots, but they're 3rd generation boots with holes in them. But she'd make an effort, and she'd think about it, and she'd plan it, and she would feel $1 million. Or as Kath Day Night or Kim says, you look $100. So I think just gives you a little picture of kind of the person she is. Maybe also a bit like her owner. Who knows?
Not at all. Not at all. One day we might see you on camera and we'll see your spectacular wardrobe. Excellent. Marvellous. Extra well introduced, I think, tonight, one and all. Thank you very much for your comments and your insights. Those are the characters, folks. Those are the characters in a rather interesting situation. And could I ask whoever wants to pick up the baton and describe us what happened last time, but perhaps Pete and Graham can start the ball rolling with what did happen last time, please, before we start the game.
Sure thing. So at the beginning of last session, Nathanel was in a building on the way to where we needed to go, basically, and we'd been separated. The rest of the party made our way up to this building and was sort of wondering about what was going on inside. This is we're going to go and try and find Ningwen. We're in her home.
Actually, I was able to bring some images up, by the way, so there we go.
Cool. So we are in a complex that's far to the far right of the screen that you can't actually see it here. It's sort of beyond this large tower. That's now we know is leading to a water garden, a rather grandiose water garden. But we started the session by sneaking up to this building because there were baddies. There were people that were assaulting the Ningwen's place. Yeah, there it is. There, there were 2 archers in there. Nathanel dispatched one, and we managed to kill the other one. Combined effort with the group, so that cleared the way for us to continue to where we were wanting to go and meet Ningwen, who's got information for us. We continued on the path on the other side of this building that led to a very grandiose Baroque sort of cavernous room inside the cliff with a path leading out the other side. We followed that path and it split into 2. Nathanel snuck ahead to discover that it opened out into this water garden where there were we could see some of our enemies waiting at an archway, a little bit further into this large water garden. Down one path, she went down the other path and saw some of the people we have sort of established as being Ningwen's men-at-arms down the other path, and have contacted them, have convinced them or talked with them and reassured them that we're on the same side. And so we're basically now wanting to establish a plan of attack to try and break our way into this garden, because it's a bit of a stalemate between their forces, the mercenary forces, and Ningwen's forces.
Perfect. And you can see there on screen the one entrance to the water garden. The other entrance is over here, where you came in over here. So basically a replication of the far side. You've come in here, and there are 4 of Ningwen's troops here. One armed with a spear, one armed with a bow, who was the first person you encountered, one armed with a spear here, and one armed with a sword here, and they're all kind of crouching down to avoid bow fire, which every now and then an arrow or a crossbow bolt comes kind of whistling over or whistling in your direction. But yes, perfectly narrated. Thank you, Pete. Anything missed, guys? Anything else we need to talk about? Anything else? Any other questions that people have? Anything that wasn't clear? Go for it, please. Oh.
Got a few questions, but I think they'll probably come out in the dialogue that follows.
Okay, cool. Well, if we're ready, let's start the game. So just to build on a little bit, you've come into these quite incredible surroundings. You've been alerted to the fact that up here and on its equivalent on the far side of where you're looking now, you've just caught a glimpse of it through here. There are two high points, and you've been whispered by these two companions, who are speaking, by the way, mainly South Tongue. Well, they're speaking South Tongue, but there's a bit of Thebronic mixed in there as well, those that speak it, but they definitely don't speak the languages. Unfortunately, they don't speak the languages that you guys commonly speak. But they've informed you that their companions have managed, and you can just make them out up here, their companions have managed to climb up with bows, and they're very good archers, and they've managed to basically stop the assault by raining down deadly fire down onto the attackers. Some of the oh, bless you. Some of the attackers are at the very far end of the water garden, I've mentioned. Some of the attackers are close. You can see some of them lurking around here, and there are archers over here and various others. And some are on a small island, and that was the last time that these loyal servants saw their mistress, Ningwen, on a small island, which is in between where you guys are now and these high points. So basically, the combat, the violence, the bloodshed, and there has been no shortage of bloodshed. Just make out some bodies here, and then when you came over this side, you'll recall that you saw quite a number of bodies, both of these loyal servants of Ningwen, of which you're speaking to two now, and there's 4 in the immediate vicinity, but also of these mercenary types. And they've informed you that there's pretty much a stalemate. So for the last minute, 5 minutes or so, not quite that, perhaps their companions up on these heights have pinned down and have kept everybody, all of these people that are assaulting this beautiful area, pinned down, under control, whatever. Probably the last point to mention, if we zoom straight up, it's pretty much what you see. So it's so gathering dusk, not quite dusk yet, but certainly not far off. And looking straight up as we are now, you pretty much see that, except that it's not quite that, because there is a massive roof of glass, beautiful roof of glass over you. It's opaque, so you don't see the clouds as they are there. So this incredible structure, and it's high, guesstimate at least 150, if not 200 or 300 foot above you. Quite an imposing structure. So where we begin, and we are going to go into rounds, is with you all having just come out of the tunnel. You have spoken. Initially it was Etienne who made contact with this man here, the spearman here, and then with the bowman here, beg my pardon, and then the guy with the spear, who seems to be probably more in control than the others, or more in command than the others, has come up, and they've had a hushed conversation with you. Basically, this is the situation, this is what they've seen. they've kind of established that immediately you aren't a threat. I mean, they're obviously, these 4 guys are looking at these 6 people with quite a lot of suspicion. But that's where we begin. You are crouched down a little bit. You can see a little bit here that there is a little bit of a slope, just a small amount of a slope that goes down to the tunnel. So you're taking advantage of the fact it dips down, and you're avoiding the occasional arrow or crossbow bolt that comes above you. And in 2 ticks, we are going to go into a round. 2 ticks, I'll take each character through what they do in their turn. After the GM is back from the loo. You've got however long it takes me to get to and from the loo to have a chat. Back to.
Go team, go.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think so. If you go into the main game chat and open that map up, the picture there. So currently we are down at the bottom entrance to that, where it says PC and guards. The suggestion is that we take one of them with us, and if they won't, well, we'll see if they'll do that. I may even have to do an exchange student thing. And we come in from the other tunnel entrance at the top, where, and you'll see below that is a similar path that goes through one arch to a second arch where there are 2 thugs. Now, neither of those appears to have melee weapons. Missile weapons. So the thought was that if we, first of all, gather, so Etienne can do his inspiring plus whatever, so he gives you a plus 10, which will be helpful for a number from 7 rounds. So we'd have to act quick, but worth it. Then rush over to the first arch. Now the question, I suppose, is whether from that bridge there we can be hit by the allied bowmen high over there on the right. So the question we should ask is there any way where they can communicate with them to let them know that we're on their side, or B, take one of the blokes with us that they can see in their uniforms so they don't shoot. So we rush over the bridge. When we get to the arch, that first arch just over the bridge, perhaps those with bows, Karios and Mithang, could take a few shots at the 2 thugs. And we could take a few shots, but probably if we're going to engage them in combat, we'll probably need to go to the arch. Otherwise, there's a chance we could still be shot from above. And then take them out collectively. Then there's also an option. See, there's a platform off to the right.
GM's back, guys. We're kicking off.
I was just explaining the plan.
Okay.
There's a platform off to the right of the path. There's a short bit of water. I don't know how quite wide that is, but we could ascertain it. If some of the characters did jump that and go to the other side of that platform, there's a low wall that we've seen with some shrubbery, which might be a good firing position.
Okay. Nathan, Neathanol, what do you do?
Explain the plan.
Okay. Go for it.
So, so that would be a good firing. And if we could then fire on the archers on the side, and potentially that might be a good place to cross the courtyard below the ×2, rather than at the right hand where we'd be out in the open. There seems to be there's a blossom tree there.
Etienne, your turn. What are you saying?
So he'll carry on the plan. And then hopefully before we make that attack, if we make a code word, then hopefully the other group could attack at the same time and both descend on thugs and archers and melee at the same time. Does that make sense?
Leif, you're up. What do you do?
Yep.
This round.
Sounds good. Leif will ask he can speak through the Bronic.
Yep.
He will turn to the Dagran and ask if one of his men will come with us to the other side to make an assault from the other side.
Yes. Why? Aren't we safer here in numbers? Yes, we can, but we've just met you, and aren't we better to stay here?
Leif will offer to stay, and perhaps he can stay to make up for the man that goes.
Okay.
And
Any other actions from Leif this round?
He'll just want to see what the reaction is and see how Neathan, well, how the group splits.
Okay. Okay. Keros, you've heard this discussion. You've heard a plan. You've heard some comments from Leif. What do you do?
She will follow instruction because she doesn't make good decisions, as we all know. She will have her bow out, and she'll wait to hear if she's advancing or staying, or
Okay.
she's ready to go over with the plan.
What's she doing with her pack?
She will dump it there.
Okay.
Actually.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
But she's got a bow and arrows. Bow and arrows. Got that.
Anything else she's taking with her that I should know about?
Can she carry a sword as well?
Yes, of course.
Okay, she'll take her sword and her bow and arrow in her hands.
And the dagger.
And the dagger.
Okay. Very good. Okay. Just going through. Okay. So this man with the spear, who seems to be Dagron, taking some charge. Who please, I can't quite recall. Who was he speaking to in South Tongue, please? Was it?
Mathan speaks it to 5.
Right. And others that speak South Tongue?
No, from Keros.
Anybody else?
Sorry, Demos does. Hang on, I've lost my character sheet.
You've lost yourself.
I think it's only like 4.
Okay.
No, it's 3.
Anybody else?
no, Thebronic, yes.
Okay. Okay. So South Tongue seems to be the lingua franca. So this is fragmented. It takes longer than this because he is having to translate to Mithan and Demos and then get it translated from those characters to the others, and high pressure situation. So he's saying to you, what do you want to do? What do you think we should do? Saying we split. We're saying I think we should stay, but what? He's asking Mithan.
Mathan would explain. So 6 of us, maybe one of yours, and he stays. Go around the other entrance. They have only 2 people there, armed with melee weapons, not ranged. We can get them to attack us. And also less archers on that side.
Mm-hmm.
And then we attempt an attack from that direction. Draw their fire, try to get up close to the archway into this courtyard and get cover there. Sorry, so the archway where the other people are waiting.
Okay. So that takes. Okay, so that takes a bit to explain, but he's nodding and going, yes, okay, yes, good. He's certainly thinking about it. He turns to his companion, this chap here. I'm just checking you can see on screen. Yes, you can. And you hear him in South Tongue, Mithan and Demos to a lesser degree, kind of relaying that, and they're kind of talking between them. And they're speaking fast, but one of the guy with the bow is going, can we trust these people? Are they going to stab us in the back? They've just come out of the tunnel. I mean, what do you think? What do you think's going on? The guy with the spear is definitely going, we should do it. That's sound tactical sense. We should do it. So they're in some debate. Mithan, we've just had you. Okay. Demos, anything for you? You've heard this exchange. You've heard kind of what's going on. Do you say anything? Do anything? Anything I should know from Demos?
No, he's nodding along, trying to kind of picture in his head how this is going to work, but he trusts everyone, so he's like, I'm ready to go.
Okay. Okay. Very good. And that is the end of that round. Okay. Next round. It starts with Neathanel. So, Neathanel, you've got the translation back from Mithan. It's been broken up. You can see that these two are debating it. But this guy who is in charge seems to be, from what you can make out, is agreeing and nodding at Mithan and pointing and saying, yes, this is good. This is good. We should do this. What do you do?
Suggest that we go round the other side, and that when we shout jibber jabber, we are going to engage on the bowman at that point from the other side.
Okay.
And if someone could, she'll say that in Thebronic.
Okay. So this guy here understands a bit of Thebronic, if you recall from last time. He could you just give me a quick presence roll, please? Just give me a sense of how you kind of come across. Just met these people after all. They're terrified. People have been dying left, right, and centre. Just curious to see how she comes.
8.
8's not wonderful. Okay. What's her presence?
100. So plus 35.
High, very high. Okay, I mean, it's not overwhelming. It's not a complete failure, but he kind of nods-ish. Yeah. He's kind of going, yeah, okay, yeah, I get it. So she's saying that. Anything else she's actually doing this round that I should know about?
No, I mean urging them to leave, to get going.
Okay, sure. Etienne, same to you. What do you? Anything you?
He's ready to go, but he will prepare in case he'll start to prepare in case they are linger here longer than he thinks they should. But he'll start to prepare.
Okay, cool. Okay. At that point, at Etienne's turn, there's been a kind of a lull for the last little bit in missiles coming across, and suddenly, all at once, from out of the bushes and around here and places that you can't see where your characters currently are, there's a flurry of missile fire. A volley would probably be a little bit too dramatic. There aren't enough people for it to be a volley. There's not hundreds. But there's a number of either crossbows or arrows that fly out from this direction. And I rolled these before, by the way, hence the reason I was slightly delayed in some of my looking over my images before. First, this guy here yells as an arrow. I mean, they're taking cover, so they are definitely getting as much, in behind here as much as they can. They are relatively well hidden, but their faces and various body parts are exposed from certain perspectives, from certain angles outside. And despite being, having more than half solid cover behind marble, an arrow finds this guy's leg. Not a horrible wound from what you can make out. Kind of glances past him, but he's definitely bleeding, and he cries out in pain. This guy here, however, is more unlucky. and you all see as a crossbow bolt from in this direction smashes into his thigh, and he screams in pain. So out of his his right thigh, there's a bolt sticking out, and he's bleeding pretty heavily. He looks like he's in serious trouble. At the same time, there is a scream from a yell or whatever you want from people out here. And who speaks South Tongue again? It's just Mithun. Is that right?
Yep.
I speak like a little. Dingel speaks
Yep.
a little bit.
So you've got enough. You hear the scream from this one and this one in South Tongue. I just need to change my view because you guys can see my view. There we go. Oops, no, that's the wrong one. There we go. Mithun and Demos, this is what you hear as in a scream of pain and terror and alarm. Coming, Demos, into your channel once I find it. No, that's Mithun's channel right now. No. And Demos, the same. And the sound of running feet.
Does Mithun have an opportunity to translate for the party?
Yes.
3 words, they're coming.
Okay. Leif, you've just seen this. You've just seen. Whoops, a daisy. You've just seen this guy get hit with a crossbow bolt. This guy get glanced with a shot from archers out here, and this information that you now have. Fair to say, I'm gonna. So Etienne, you started preparing, so you've got 10% action. Neathanol, fair to say, what's fair?
Well, she's just urging people to go.
Yes, yeah, but how much of her 10% of her 100% was she doing that? I'll say you've got a 50% action. I'll ask to hear what Leif's doing first, and then I'll come back to Neathanol with her 50%. So Leif, well, actually, yeah, no, we'll do it that way. Leif, you've just heard this. What are you doing?
He will. Where is he?
He's kind of realistically, he's anywhere he wants around
He
here.
will move up to the and be to the left, and he's got his sword out already. And draw his sword and prepare his shield, and move up beside the guy.
I'm just going to find him. Oh, where's Leif?
Oh, I hope he's not back on the boat.
I hope he's not back on the boat as well. Let me just do some. I could have sworn I included him. Sorry, Pete. Very, very poor form of me. Let me just.
Problem.
Let me just.
He's on the pool lounge by the Infinity Waterfall, waiting on his cocktail with a cat.
That's exactly where he is. Just give me 1 second, Pete.
Happy to use Victory's figurine for him because
It's all right.
It's a safe bet.
I had I had one I had safely prepared before. There he goes.
Cat shield activated.
Cat shield activated. No, I have one I prepared earlier. Thank goodness. Go 2 seconds. There we go. Okay. So just bring the screen back. Okay, so by the power vested in me, I summon Leif. There he is.
Woohoo!
Mana from heaven, or Leif from heaven.
Cool.
What does Leif do, please?
So he would move. Yeah. So drawing sword and does he have to draw a shield? It's just already.
No,
on his arm.
it's on his arm. Yep.
Yeah. Draw a sword and move to the left of the screen.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yep. Well, yeah, exactly where you're. Yep. So and being defensive, he's going to opportunity attack and parry. Is this how far are we from the injured people?
Sure. You're
Okay.
You're close. So distance of 21 foot.
Yep, awesome. Okay, so opportunity attack and parry and move and attack if necessary, but I don't expect he will need to.
Cool.
Thank you.
Back to Neathanol. So Neathanol, you acted first, as you often do. You've spent 50% of your time encouraging people to move. This guy was definitely going, yes, this definitely sounds like what we should do. Good tactical sense. This guy was wavering and going, yes, we should probably do it. Then the events that I've just described have unfolded. What do you do with 50% of your action, please? And you might be on mute, Graham.
Sorry, she'll draw a weapon and get ready.
Cool. Where's she standing?
Well, she probably just probably where she. Well, yeah, she'll just assemble with a group and then move up. With, I guess we got a soldier in front of us. We'll probably follow him.
Okay. Cool. Keros, you're next.
Keros is feeling a bit nervous about this PowerPoint situation, and she's not one for drawing a sword. But she will hold her sword. What has she got? A long sword.
She's currently got a bow in her hand. And
she'll drop that.
Okay.
Yeah, well, she'll drop that.
Okay.
But she will be prepared to drop her sword and snapcast.
Okay.
With no prep, because she doesn't need to prep. And she might. Where is she? Sorry, Chris.
Well, I'm
anywhere.
I have deposited you in this area. You've come out of, see there, the tunnel at the back here. But ultimately, your call where you want to position your characters. Oh, there is Leif. There was a Leif. Look at that. He was just hiding. Yeah, Pete.
With Etienne.
Yes,
I understand.
Yes.
Can we not have two of them?
You can't have two of them. Nice try.
Too late.
Nice try.
She's not going to come too far forward because she's not confident with weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Could she maybe stay behind Leif, but not so far that she'll accidentally stab him? Because that is something Keros would do.
Sure. Okay.
I'm feeling a lot of parallels to Keros's owner. I'm just saying. Just
okay.
clumsy.
So Keros is currently here. You tell me kind of where you want her to go.
Maybe in front of that rock behind Leif. But over, is that a sword's distance away?
No, you'd be, because you've got one person there and another person there. Might be a little bit hard to get. Well, yeah, you might be able to strike from there, but I don't know. Might be a bit challenging.
She doesn't really want to strike, to be honest. Okay, maybe can she go back along that line, but on the other side of the chap? Yeah, but not too forward, because the other. Where does that land her? Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And I guess the other team can just push her out of the way, no problem.
Cool. All right. Next up is Mithan. So Mithan, you've heard the shout. You and Demos have heard the shout. You've yelled it out. You've got your 3 words, and you can hear the sound very clearly. The sound of running feet. What do you do?
She'll want to opportunity move and fire.
Okay. Done. Based on what?
So, she's got a target, and so the movement will be if she needs to move to get a shot,
mm-hmm.
and then move away. Because she's got 10% movement on either side of a. She can move 5. Yeah, 5% movement would get her from behind a person and stuff. So if she needs to move into shot and then move out of shot again or whatever.
Cool. Done.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So she's got to
Cool. Demos. Demos, you arbitrarily are just lumped there, but you know you can go wherever you like. It should also point out, Etienne, you have 10% more action this round with your preparation. But Demos, firstly, where, what, how, where?
He'd sorry, excuse me. He would like to.
Sorry, before Demos acts, can he use that remaining to say something?
Do it.
Yeah, sure.
Close to me, preparing.
Okay. Cool. Demos, what do you do?
Right, he'd shuffle in. spear ready and shield up, and I guess opportunity, action, and defense. You're swirling me around.
Tell me where you want to go.
Oh, maybe just shuffle him like forward a little bit, but not too. Like how far away can he be from Etienne?
Out there.
Sure.
Okay, cool. Very good. Next up is Hank. That is it for you guys. Okay, cool. So, this is what happens. There is the sounds of running feet. And these likely gentlemen come charging up. This one here is definitely well and truly behind. He's not there. So just to get a look at them. So they don't charge. They are not... These are people who seem to know their craft. And their craft appears to be dicing people up with sharp objects into very small pieces. Yes, they yelled. Yes, they bellowed some kind of war cry or something as they came charging up, or as they came running up. But they come up in kind of order, and they don't run up and attack. They actually can't. Well, the only way to do that is to charge. What they do is come up as far as they can, and this guy, and then parry. So this guy engages here. This guy engages here. This person comes up here. This person with a spear runs up here. And then there's a guy just can't quite make it in behind them. This chap here was winged in the leg. Actually, no, they're both stunned. So neither of these guys can attack. So there's almost a bit of a stalemate. So if you imagine these two of Ningwen's loyal followers have been injured, they've taken arrows, one more severely than the other, they would normally get an attack. These 5 people have rushed up and have kind of prepared their weapons to fight, but they haven't engaged, so they haven't charged in crazily. They've charged in, they've run in a controlled fashion. Mithan, you got an opportunity shot with your bow. You can pick a target, please. What we might do is, just for a bit of clarity on the situation, might come through here and come up here a little bit, and just a little bit more of what these people look like as well. So a real motley collection. You've got a guy here with a sword, a guy here with a two-handed sword, spear and shield, This chap here, for example, is armed with a battle axe. This guy here has got a double-handed scimitar. Whole collection of people, and as you can kind of make out, they're all quite differently armed. Probably one thing for the observant among you, and I'm not going to ask for perception rolls, but for the observant among you, there's probably a look of a bit of a surprise. The fact that they see you, so there's more people here than they expect, and see different people than they expected, but that doesn't seem to sway them too much. Mithun, you get a shot. You can move as you described. What do you do, please, with your opportunity action?
She'll move so she can shoot the two-handed guy, and then she'll move again.
This guy here, sure. Fun, bang. So Mithun, you move to here. It's a distance of 31 foot. Take your shot. It's on. Just actually just.
Not quite a fumble. It's a 10.
What a great start for the home team. Okay. This is on number, I think I said 20. Yep, 25. Lovely. Okay. 108 and a 10, you said?
Yep, the whole team.
Okay. He's wearing leather armor with breastplates, etc. The good news is he's not particularly fast. So even with a terrible roll, Mithun, you still deliver 13 and a B puncture. Make that B puncture count.
We'll get the bad rolls out of the way. That's a 7.
7.
Ah.
You do him an additional 2 hits.
And sorry, what was his number again?
25.
25, thank you.
Okay. I don't think anybody else had opportunity action. Going once, going twice from last round. Nope. Okay. Oh, Leif.
Leif did, but I don't think he wants to run up and put himself
Okay.
up there.
Yep. Anything else? Going once, going twice, gone. That is the end of the round.
Okay.
Oh,
Sorry.
No, go, Demos.
So I think I had an opportunity action as well.
Yep.
But how does if they're about 30 foot away, how far would I be able to make it forward and still attack and parry?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. So, you arguably moved, I'm not going to say, 5-10 foot? You can move forwards, generally. So attacking is a 50% action, but you'll have a negative 50 to your attack. So in other words, you have 100% of your action that you can use. If you stand in one place, you get plus your normal 100. If you move an attack, you would get half your attack, let's say. So yes, you could move up. You could move up 20 foot, so it's only an additional 20 foot. So I'd give you a call it a negative 30 on your attack if you wanted to move up and attack this guy.
I think I won't.
You sure?
Yes.
You can?
So sure.
You
No,
do?
it's fine.
Or this guy? Or this guy?
No, I think I'm okay. I'm nervous.
You can. Your character can definitely do that in the round.
No, it's okay. I'll stay put. But I want it. But like, I guess if arrows start coming or people start coming, I'd like to be able to defend myself.
Right. Cool.
And yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Actually,
Thank
sorry.
you.
One last action. No problem. Actually, one last action. This guy has an arrow on his string. He would have spun around a bit like Mithun, hearing the threat from behind, and would have loosed his shot as well. He is going for arbitrarily this guy here, number 12. Fires at number 12. Ooh. Whack. Even with a shield. That's another B crit. Yeah, so his arrow goes over the top of the shield, clips this guy on the chest, and he's bleeding. So the guy with the spear has taken a hit and seems kind of slightly staggered by the bow shot. The chap here with the spear runs forward a little bit. He kind of moves up to about here, and then kind of glances around, kind of holds himself, sees what you're doing, and holds himself here. But he's definitely moved forward a little bit. So your ally with the spear has moved up here. That is the end of that round. We're into the next round. Going into initiative. Rolling initiative, or rather, the computer is rolling initiative for you. And Neathanel, you are first to act. What do you do?
Well, we already discussed what we were going to do, and she's guessed what Etienne's doing because we'd already talked about it. So she's going to opportunity action.
Okay.
Because she's expecting him to cast.
Done. Okay, so this is...
So obviously, if somebody moves forward, she will, she's got the option to attack them, but
Sure.
She would rather stay within, 10 feet of, or
Etienne.
20 feet of whatever. Yeah.
Cool. Mithun, what do you do?
She will take another shot.
Done. So she didn't reload, so this will be negative 20.
Yes.
Cool.
Correct.
Who is her target, please?
Same guy.
Same guy, this guy here, 25. Make it count.
Rolled a 72.
Hey,
That's pretty good.
that's the spirit.
Wallop. This is where you should have better DB than this guy. That's 22 and an E puncture, Mithun. Roll the crit, please. Make it good.
Is 8 good enough?
I thought you'd got your rubbish rolls out of the way last time.
I'm just taking one for the team. Out of my 4 rolls, 3 of them have been 10 or under.
Oh, goodness me. You do him another 5 hits, Pete.
Okay.
Next actor. Okay. Okay. Keros, you're up. You have a sword drawn, Keros. You have a bow at your feet. You're standing here. What do you do?
Can I quickly ask a question? You know, opportunity attack and snap cast. Sorry, and I know I'm interrupting the
No,
flow.
that's all right.
Is that the same thing? Like, if I say opportunity attack, does that mean I can cast, or is that for like actual weapons? Or if I say snap cast, does that mean I can just snap cast? But I can do that anyway because I don't have to prep.
So
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. So the idea of kind of taking an opportunity action is as follows. The way that this game and a lot of other role-playing games breaks down a fight, which is obviously, it's a game, is it has to measure kind of some way of who goes first. And who goes first in this game, and in a lot of games, is a dice roll, which the computer does for us all, plus a character's quickness bonus. The people that get to act first are the ones with the fastest quickness and the good dice rolls. In theory, obviously this doesn't happen in quote-unquote real life, although there are some in real life. There are some people that are faster than others. But in the game, the concept is, if a character gets to act first, they have 100% of their activity that they can do. If they say, I want to do something, but it needs to be predicated on an activity happening. So they can't just... I think the rules, the idea of the spirit of the game is, you can't just sit back and say, my character does something until they feel like doing something. You've got to say, my character pauses and waits until a trigger action happening, something happening. Someone's attacked, someone opens a door, someone picks up a book, someone draws a sword, someone moves to a certain place, or whatever. When that trigger action happens, the faster character can say, well, as that happens, my character's been waiting for that to happen, and they can take the action. Doesn't really matter what action that is. That could be a spell that they cast. It could be a weapon they fire, it could be an attack, it could be a climb they do, it could be a whatever they want. But the faster character has the opportunity, that's kind of why it's called an opportunity action, to actually say, my character's faster, I've said that when X happens, they'll do Y, and that's the situation you're in. So Keros has an opportunity now where she has the opportunity to act earlier. It's her decision what she wants to do, or what she wants to do when a certain action happens. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so I should be saying not snapcast. I should be saying I want an opportunity action because I don't want to do it right now. I might want to wait in case somebody else does something first or the foe does something first, and then I do it.
Correct. So
will I get another chance to do that?
Yes, this round. So you get something. Basically, it's called a trigger action. So if X does Y, if such and such a baddie moves here or does this or attacks here, my character is reserving the right to beat that character to doing that. So let's say, for argument's sake, on screen, this character here that Mithun's now shot twice. If Keros says, I am going to hold my actions or not do my actions unless this guy runs up and hits this person here. And as this guy runs up to hit him, Keros can say, actually, before he hits him, I had said that I would act at that moment.
So I've got right of way.
Right away.
This round to say I'm going to hold, see what plays out, and then I might do it at the end of the round.
But see my earlier comment about I can't just kind of wait for anything. I need to describe.
Oh, I need to say, okay, and if that thing doesn't happen, then I lose my action.
Well, within reason, you'll still have an action at the end of the round.
Right. Oh, so, I feel like I should have known that. So sorry, and I've just held up the flow.
That's
okay,
right.
So Keros.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, PowerPoints. Really wants to cast something, but she is going to hold her action. Is that right? And if there is a rush on at the end, she will cast. Okay. Can I say that?
Yes. So what does a rush on at the end mean? Describe that.
Oh, like if these foes start coming towards us with weapons, she will drop her sword and cast her more powerful weapon, which is her magic, her one of her bolts.
Okay.
Rather than use her sword. Is that acceptable?
Yep, that's fine. So the idea of the game is that you don't kind of you don't fudge it by saying
I'm just going to wait.
I'm just going to wait. You need to describe what your character's planning on doing. You've described what your character's planning on doing. I'm happy with that description, and you move on. You get the benefit of being a faster character to decide kind of what happens from there. Yep.
Okay, so you're actually probably better off being slower because everything's happened,
sometimes.
And then you can make your decision, right?
Sometimes, yes.
So can I add to that if somebody's hit with a bow or one of the team members is attacked?
I think
I can act.
No,
or is that it?
The thing is that sometimes that's down to what a character may witness in a fight, so that's probably getting a bit complex.
True.
Yep. So
okay. But if I'm sensing that we're going to get like bombarded, then I want to drop my sword and cast a spell.
I'm happy with that.
Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay, cool. Sorry to hold up the game. That was great. Thank you.
All good. Cool. Next up is Leif.
He is going to have an opportunity action of... If Etienne tells him he needs to move closer, he'll move closer. Once Etienne's cast, he will move up to stand beside our ally.
Mm-hmm.
Or if our ally is being attacked, he'll move up before Etienne is cast and take an opportunity action to attack and parry.
Thank you. Speaking of Etienne, you're prepared for one round.
Best cast, I think.
Cast? Go for it.
Yep.
Go, go, go. This is a
Ooh, 93.
93. How about that? What kind of spell is this? Your choice of spell for sound effects: conjuring, healing, earth, arcane, music, nature, ice, or fire. What do you feel?
Fly to the Valkyries, please.
Don't actually. Maybe I do. Do you want me to get that up?
That's well, if you like. I mean, if it's just there, I don't know what you got sitting there, but
2 seconds.
Enter the next level of
Not that.
So anyway, he will say something along the lines of, yes. One man comes in the name of love, one man the stem of a rose, one man comes here to justify, one man to overthrow. In the name of love, friends, once more, in the name of love. And then he'll cast.
Lovely.
Inspirations 2.
Cool. The spell is successful.
Caster,
What's the effect on of this spell, please?
caster inspires all allies who are within 20 feet of him. Oh no, actually, that's my mistake. Inspirations within 100 feet, actually.
100
Oh no, sorry, that's range. Area effect 20 feet radius of him, so it's all allies. Gain plus 10 to melee attacks and maneuvers for the duration of the spell. This spell will only work during combat or during a highly religious moment, i.e. an oratory presentation prior to battle. These bonuses do not apply to the caster. However, they do apply to everybody else who's in the 20 feet and calling themselves an ally.
Oh, so that spell affects all of these people. All of those people. How long does it last? Does it last, please?
How many wines have you had? It's one round per
or two, or maybe 3.
1 round per level, and he is 7th level, isn't he? Hang on, let me just check. Is he 6th? I think he's 6th.
6th, yeah.
Yeah. 6 rounds.
And does he need to concentrate for that time, or does he operate freely?
Oh no, he operates freely.
Excellent.
He casts it and then carries on, but he doesn't get the bonus himself.
Got it. So it's melee and maneuvering attacks, correct?
Correct.
Marvelous. Thank you very much, Etienne. Etienne, that was a 75% action for you. You've got 25% left of your action. What do you do?
He will have his sword and prepared to parry if necessary, should he be attacked.
Done.
Leif would move up at that point.
Has Leif had an opportunity action?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. His opportunity was to move if he needed to, or once Etienne's cast the spell, move up next to his friend and prepare to parry and attack opportunity.
As with Nathanal.
Okay. So distance there is, just to check, 20 foot. So a slight, a bit of a distance for Neathanal, a shorter distance for Leif. So I'll bear those in mind as and when required.
And ready to parry.
Yep. This guy. This guy here. Enraged by being shot twice by Mithan. No, this chap here, I should say. Guy with the spear. And he is enraged being shot. Actually, it was this chap here. Does take a step forward. He doesn't move all the way up to you, Leif. Within striking range, he gets close. He is using a longer weapon. You're using a medium-sized weapon. This chap here has a spear as well. He's not striking this round. Or hang on, or is he? What is he? Is he? Just see. No, he's not. He's moving up and just kind of watching, keeping an eye on you and the three people in front of him. This chap here, guy with the battle axe, attacks the guardsman. The guardsman is armed with a sword. He's going to parry some. Oh, Jesus. Didn't parry enough. With a scream, the guy with the battle axe brings it down on the guardsman's head. Or not on his head, sorry, on him. Chops into his thigh. There's kind of a nice, meaty... Do we have a... that kind of maybe not quite that chunk as the axe goes into his leg, and there's a gout of blood. It looks like this guardsman here, for those that can see it, is in trouble. 24. This chap here attacks this guardsman. He is using medium weapon versus a longer weapon, so he is at a disadvantage, the guy that's attacking. Glancing shot, 6 hits. This guy here is clearly not in good shape and staggers back a little bit. Gets back to about here. He's bleeding quite heavily from the wound in his leg. Okay. Our friend here steps forward, spear versus spear, and attempts to skewer this guy sword with the spear in front of him. So there's no penalty for either. They're both using long-range weapons. The defender is parrying. And hits. Manages to basically move around his shield, attempt to skewer him. Basically a glancing blow, just kind of knocks off the guy, not a major injury. Seven. This chap with the bow. He moves to here and takes a shot here.
And he'll have a +10, right?
And he'll have a plus. Thank you. Thank you. No. Good shooting. Oof. So his arrow comes out and catches this guy here, the guy with the two-handed sword, in his side. The arrow sticks there, quivering. He screams in pain. There is a gout of blood, and that's a serious injury. This man here is, yeah, he's not looking good. He's taken a bad hit to him. Nice shooting. Thank you for the reminder of the +10. Okay, nearly there, guys. No. Okay, and just about at the end, Demos, what do you do?
He would like to take a stab at the one with the shield. No, the one with the spear. Yeah, that one.
Okay. So he can move through here. What's the distance? I'll give you a -19 to your attack. You move up. So these two here are kind of locked in combat. I'll give you a flank on this because you're attacking from the side. These two are face on. Demos, you've got a flank. Give me a roll, please. Make it count.
77.
That's pretty good. 77
Yes.
with a spear of... Can you remind me of your spear bonus, please?
115.
Ooh, that's gonna smart. That is gonna smart. Now you did move up 20, as I say. Guy doesn't get a shield because it's on the other side of his body. Demos, that's a roll of 212. That's a good strike. 2 and 2 minus 150 divided by
8:30, by the way.
How did it get to 8:30 already? Thanks, Pete. I'm going to resolve this round. I've got Demos' attack, then Keros, and then goodness
And
me.
then that's the +10 reminder. See, I don't know what's out there.
Not sure if it's going to be necessary, but yep. But thank you. Okay.
He's also, I don't know if this makes any difference either. He's got it's the magic shield, so it's spear, so it's +10. I don't know if that.
Oh, yes. We should have calculated that in earlier, but
Sorry.
that's all right.
Sorry.
That's all right. So 72, 82 over, divided by, what's this guy wearing? 10. 1, 2, 1. Okay, ouch. This is really going to hurt. Is that really the amount? 1,
Die.
4.
Die.
Jesus.
Oh, because it's got to do that plus to the crit too.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Alex is talking in sleep again.
This is seriously, Demos. So, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's true. Demos, you do 46 hits in an E puncture critical. That is a massive. That is a huge amount of damage. Not only that, you get +8 to your critical result. And you do an E and a B critical. Which one are you rolling first, the E or the B?
I'll do the B first.
B. All right,
Yeah.
to the B. I'll use the rulebook for this because it's easier and faster. Give me a roll. You get +8 to this.
54.
Okay.
So 62 plus
62. Yep. Okay. 62 on a B. Clip him along the sidearm. You do another 2 hits. And he's bleeding. Yep. And you think you've stunned him or you've done something to him. Definitely. Yeah. You've definitely clipped him with that. That hurt. Now the E, please. +8 to this roll.
Rolled a 39, so 47.
47. Yeah. So it's it really didn't matter, Demos. How do you want to do this?
Oh, like how do I want him to die?
Yeah, because he goes down.
Blood's bursting. Come on. Yes.
Yeah. So he stabs his spear in and just like rips it up, and it just blood everywhere and body kind of in half. Yeah.
Goodness me,
Yay!
Demos. That deserves.
Nice job.
That deserves a.
Polite round of applause.
Oh
Well done.
so
Amazing.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Excellent work.
Yay!
Well done.
Yay! We love violence.
Well done.
We love violence. We do love violence. He goes down, Demos. That was quite some stabbity stab. He is down and well and truly out for the count. That was killed. 6th level. Nice. Keros, you held back some action. Anything else you're doing this round?
Can she please, if she can, move forward to it would be Neathnal's left side, but our right side on screen. Yep, next to Neathnal. Other side. Yep.
Anything else?
And can she snapcast? Or is that what percentage? 75.
No, that's a 14. That's a move of 14 foot. I mean, it's basically nothing. Oh, hang on.
Yeah, that's nothing.
How much does Keros move in a round, please?
Okay.
She could jog 14 foot in 20. How much can she move in a round? That's probably a good way.
Is that the base movement?
Yes.
40 feet per round.
Okay.
Oh, without packing gear is 50.
Yeah, there you go.
Walking.
And she said that she removed her packing gear.
She did because she was the smart cookie.
Yep. So
I'm learning.
yes, so you could walk 12.5 foot and 25%. So you've got 25 left. If you jogged, which Keros could do, she could make it there with no penalty.
So she can cast now?
She can.
Okay, so the chap, I'm pointing at my note, keep, like direct, no, next, to your left, or my left, both our lefts. That chap there.
Yep.
Yep, that one. Can she please fire an ice bolt?
Yeah.
And it'll be +10, and she doesn't need any prep.
Cool. So she gets 0. That's point blank range. Okay. Give me a roll. You just couldn't resist, could you? The ice bolt.
No. 95!
Oh my gosh.
Hooray!
Roll
Nice.
again. Roll
Yeah,
He's
again.
get
going for
him.
beta. He's going for beta.
Just a second. I can't,
81.
okay.
81.
We'll take that.
Yes.
But hang on. 95.
Sorry.
So that
Yep.
95 plus 81. Hang on. 95 plus
80
81
Yep,
is
81.
179.
Do you want her specialty, her plus 87 for the spell?
I've got
Is
it.
that at all helpful?
I've got it.
Oh, mate.
This is.
Oh, sorry.
God damn. 200
Waiting all day for this.
296 in an F impact.
That guy sounds like the sort of person who lays carpets. Is he?
Yeah. 296
I don't think I've ever
minus
had an F.
one. Holy Jesus. 296 divided by. Sorry. 296. Oops. 296 minus 150. Divided by. Right, let's see what the damage is on an ice bolt. On armor type 15. It's wearing chain and plate. Ice bolt, how about that? I open to the right table. 15. He is wearing 4 divided by 9. Okay. Divided by 9. So you do a utterly colossal 32 and an F. An F spell, by the way, is an E and an A. However, goodness me. So you do this guy an E, an A, and are you having fun?
Yeah.
And a D.
Oh,
And you get plus 14 to this critical roll. All three of these critical rolls. Which one are you rolling first?
Okay.
The E?
E or A or D or B or C. E. Okay, E. No, A. No, E.
E?
E.
Roll the E, and you
Echo.
get plus 14. Roll, please.
Okay. Echo roll is 56.
56 plus 14, it's a 70.
Okay.
You smash him in his shield arm. Doesn't have a shield, because he's was wielding a two-handed sword.
Idiot.
Goodness me. He screams in pain as his shoulder arm, basically, no, his shoulder just seems to disintegrate and shift in a really, really, really unpleasant direction. Smash.
Love it.
You also get, what did I say? A B and
No, an A, an E, and a D.
Okay, we've rolled.
No, and an F. No.
Yeah. So we've rolled the E, so we need to roll the
A.
A. So we're rolling the A next. A sec.
Yep.
Coming. So.
It's alright, you tell me when.
Yep.
Huzzah.
Yes. So we're rolling the A next.
Yep.
Okay. Roll the A, please.
93. Oh, I wish that was the other one. Plus the 14. You said I got a 14.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, 93 plus. Wondering whether this rule was such a good idea or not.
Great idea.
It strikes him in the head. A residual bolt strikes him in the head. And another 25 hits. And then lastly, the D critical. Is that right, Keros?
Is he still? Yeah. Is he still alive after an ice bolt to the head? Is he?
Well, I'll describe what happens in a minute.
11
So
plus 14, so 25.
Okay. I'm not really going to bother with that too much. So there are two. No, how do you want to do this, Keros?
So she is pumped up and powered up, and she's like, "How dare you? How very dare you!" And she fires, and out of her hand comes teeny tiny ice daggers. And as they hit his shoulder and his ugly mutt of a face, he turns to ice and he shatters, and his brain is ice, and and everything shatters into tiny daggers made out of ice.
He goes
Yeah.
down. That is killed 7th level.
Anyone thirsty? We could lick him.
Ooh. Mercenary taste. Mercenary flavoured.
That is the end of the round. Oh, no, it's not.
That water makes me want to wee. I'll be right back.
This chap comes up and joins the fray. Wielding a badish. Steps to line here. Alright. That is the end of the round. Rolling initiative.
We're going to do the...
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Thank you, Pete. Thank you. All right, so bring up the screen for a second. There. Okay. Fantastic. Pete, thank you for the reminder. Goodness me, I lose track of time sometimes. So, gentle viewer, for those of you new to the channel, every episode or so, we take a pause and we have a quick look at how the Rolemaster rule system works. Why? This is a game that came out in the 80s. It was pretty popular back in the 1980s and has had reasonable popularity since, but it isn't played by that many people. I've been playing it since the 80s, as have you, Pete, and I think it's a fantastic system, and I continue to play it to this day. So we pause partway through our game to throw a bit of light on how a particular aspect or a particular part of the rules for the game works. And tonight, by popular choice, by popular vote, and I mentioned at the beginning of the video the polls that you can do on the YouTube channel. Go to the community tab if you haven't already seen them. By popular demands, we got requests from the highest number of people we've ever had polling, which is nice, to do a little bit of a discussion on how criticals work. And we've just seen a couple of quite spectacular demonstrations, thank you Demos, thank you Keros, of how that works. So, Pete, start your watch now, actually, because that was the preamble, for me to describe a little bit about how criticals work in this game. So, up on screen, that is not what I was wanting to happen. This, however, is. So this is what and I won't dwell on this for long, but this is what a Rolemaster attack chart looks like. It looks really scary, I know, quite confronting, but actually it is comparatively easy to get your head around. Doesn't look it, but believe it or not, it is. Top, we have armor types, so from 1, which is basically wearing effectively no armor or a light shirt or very, very light clothing, all the way down to rank 20, which is being completely wrapped up in full plate armor, completely encased in metal. Each of these different columns, or these different chunks, and you can see This is 20 to 17, 16 to 13, 12 to 9, 8 to 5, and 4 to 1. They each represent no armor in the first one, leather armor in the second one, or types of leather armor, types of rigid leather armor, the third one, types of chain armor in the fourth one, and types of plate mail armor in the fifth one. When you get a critical result, as we've just seen from both Demos and Keros, quite spectacularly, using, in this case, it's a hand axe, but using, in this case, you'll get a result based on the armor type that you're wearing. And the results start at the least severe, which is an A critical, and you'll see where the cursor is hovering, around there is an A, and then those will translate up to a B, C, a D, and then finally an E. And the level of severity is reflected in that. A is the least severe, E is the most severe. The types of criticals that they do is also indicated on this chart. So you'll see there the result for a 90 wearing no armor, so wearing just normal clothing, results in 11 in an A. K. K is for crush. Why don't they use a C for crush? Because we already have a C critical up here, and so as not to confuse the types of criticals with the severity of criticals with the types of criticals, a crush is counted as a K. So a result of a 90 wearing just normal clothing would result in 11 hit points in an A crush. Or the next result above, 11 in an A slash, or 11 in an A crush, or so on. So up here, a more severe result is 22 in an E crush, or 22 in an E slash. So you can get a variety of different results. You can get, for example, from this weapon, you can get either a crush result from an axe, which kind of makes sense, or a slash result from an axe, which kind of makes sense. How does that result in terms of criticals? If we look on the critical table for crush, we have the columns. So you'll see across the top, A, least severe, B, a bit more severe, C, middle range, D, and then E, which is deadly. And then down the side, you'll see the results from 1 to 100. 1 being the least severe, and at the top you can see a result of zip for 0 to 5 for an A, down to 100, which is obviously the most severe. So, with any result, an A could be a slaying critical. It could be a critical which ends a character or a non-playing character's life. You can see down here, on a result of 100, blow to foe's jaw, drives bone through brain, foe then dies instantly, plus 50 hits, and plus 20 to your next swing. So even though an A is the least severe, it could absolutely end in a fatality. However,
4 minutes.
Thanks, Pete. However, death is more likely to occur in an E critical result. Rolemaster is a very, very, very deadly game, and even a weak character, if they roll well and get a critical result, could slay a stronger character with a good critical. Some of the results in the critical which aren't necessarily instant death, let's have a look. Blow to foe's shield arm, foe shatters wrist, arm is useless, foe is stunned for the next round, plus 6 hits. Stun in terms of Rolemaster is basically you're reeling, so the attack has done you a significant amount of damage, and you're steeing stars is probably a good description. There is a worse result from that, and you can see that in the next one. Blow bruises foe's knee. Foe is at negative 40 to all action, so every dice roll that character makes, they're at negative 40, plus 10 hits. The foe is stunned and unable to parry for 2 rounds. A key component of this game is protecting yourself, and you can protect yourself in different ways. One is wearing armor, another one is carrying a shield, a third option is being fast, and a fourth option is to parry an attack. Everybody has a certain skill in a weapon, and they can use some of that skill in the weapon to either attack an opponent or defend themselves. And basically only a lunatic or a suicidal person would attack with everything they have and not restrict some back to be able to block or parry or divert an attacker's blow on you. With this critical result, you are injured so severely, you're seeing stars so much that you're basically standing there with your mouth open, not able to parry, and basically an open target. So the charts that we can see on screen, you can read them in slower time, give you a flavour of the different results that a combatant can end up in. And what makes this a challenging and a difficult game is an unlucky result at the wrong time can spell death or incapacitation or the loss of a limb or a hand or whatever for a character. I love it. I love the system because it is so unpredictable. And even though I, as a storyteller, may have an idea in my head of how a fight or a situation or whatever's going to go, ultimately, the dice may completely and utterly throw my idea or the player's idea out the window. That's why I find this game so appealing. So, a bit of a jump into criticals. A to E, A being the least severe, E being the most, and nobody is safe. Thanks, Pete. Let's head back to... Sorry.
Note from Mason that she's having technical difficulties and she'll jump back on as soon as possible.
Thanks, Pete. Thank you. Sorry to hear that, Mason. We'll have you join as soon as you can. All right, next round. That is the end of the rounds. We are starting with Neathanol. What do you do, Neathanol? Hello, Graham.
Sorry, I'm mute. So that guy has just skipped into the gap there ahead of her. What's he look like? He or she?
Like that. So he was running, and he used his movement to move up to there.
Oh no, sorry, the one in front. That one. That's a long-range weapon, right?
It is. It's a bardiche.
So in terms of, I'd need to make a maneuver to get up close. Is that correct?
You're using a short weapon. He's using a long weapon. So at this stage, he can attack you with no penalty. You can't attack him at all. You would need to either move... Yes, you would need to make a maneuver roll to get up to a medium range where you'd still strike with a negative 15. Correct.
Might be best left to Demos then, that one. Who else could I... Yeah. Yeah, I think she may do an opportunity action just to see how things play out. So I think she's prepared to parry an attack, but I think she's just going to see how the round plays out.
Okay.
Because she doesn't really want to take on someone with a weapon twice as long as hers.
So just as a heads up, if it's short range versus longer weapon at long range, you can't attack and you can only parry at negative 30. So you'd have a negative 30 to your parry. As a heads up. The idea is that you're using a much shorter weapon. He can poke you at very long range.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, so you're going to opportunity attack and see how the round plays out.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Alright. Keros, you're next. What do you do?
Right, who's next? So I'm there. Who is that a chap with a spear in front of me? Is that one of ours or one of theirs?
Yeah. He was the last one to run up. He's got a long range weapon, yeah, spear. A bardiche, as it's called.
Oh, I'm going to hit him with an ice bolt too.
Right. At 6 foot, he's like, you're on top of him. Yep.
Huzzah. Yep.
Okay. Go for it, Keros. That is number 8. Yep. Go.
53.
Okay.
Do I get that special plus 10 or plus
You
14 that I
do.
got last time?
Yep.
Oh, amazing.
53, courtesy of of Etienne.
Thank you. And plus 87 is her.
Yeah. Goodness me. Crunch for Keros. So he's he was one of the last ones to run up. That's 19 in an E impact. Roll the critical, please.
Oh, an E. That's a good one. Okay.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock are the PowerPoints.
I'm coming. Oh, no, sorry. I thought you were telling me to hurry up.
No,
I'm coming.
no,
I'm coming.
No, they're just the
Oh,
PowerPoint.
92! 92! Vader is in my sights.
That's fantastic.
Okay, I would normally ask you to no, describe what happens and I'll read out the critical because it's quite a good one. There you go, Keros.
She could almost touch him. So she sends out these tiny little icicles out of her fingers, and they just cover him from head to toe, and he turns frozen into one big icicle. And then the icicle explodes, and it's not even human. There's just bits of ice everywhere.
Excellent, I would say, and the critical result is blast drives bone through foe's lungs. Foe drops and dies after 6 rounds of intense agony, plus 30 hits.
Ha! Huzzah! What level, please?
Hang a second.
The critical table in the book also says sad.
Sad. Oh, did I not read out sad?
No.
That's the best
Oh,
bit.
sad.
Oh, that's so good.
Amazing.
Well done, well done.
Wow.
That's so good.
Yay! More
Well done,
violence.
well done.
Goodness me.
That was 75% of action, right?
Just a second. It's number 8.
8th level?
No, just coming.
Oh, sorry.
Just need to do some editing here. He is, or rather was, 6th level.
Thank you.
He is down. Goodness me.
That's nice.
Okay. Next up is okay. Etienne, you're next.
Well, he'll move forward with his sword. I think he'll come up. We can't really attack this round, can he? Without, or can he? Not without quite a big minus. How far? If he, so how close can he attack someone?
That person's your closest adversary. He's 30 foot away, so you'd have and I'd say I'd ask for a maneuver roll to kind of walk your way through here. So I'd say you'd have a negative 40 to your attack.
And that's on top of a negative 25, is it?
Correct.
Probably not worth that then. He'll take a position immediately shoulder to shoulder with Demos.
So up to here.
Yeah. Oh, however, he has got his sword. Casts Holy Firebolt 3 times per day. How many left? 3.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Maybe he won't do that. Yeah, he'll stand next to Demos. Opportunity parry. Should they attack?
Okay. I will ask for a maneuver roll, just kind of squeak his way. I'll give it a. Yeah, an easy maneuver roll just to move his way between Demos and Nyathel. Basically, just no failures is what I'm interested in.
14.
See? Cool. What's his movement on armor is 0. 14. 50%. I'm happy with that. He's fine. Yep, moves up there. Done. Next up is the guy that Kiros, you just turned into a popsicle. Mython.
She doesn't have a shot, does she?
She really doesn't. It's getting very crowded there.
What's the difference between her and the gap? In the archway, please.
Oops.
It's within 100 foot. No, 50 foot, isn't it? That's what I need.
Yeah. It's call it. Yeah, it's like 40 foot away. Where she is.
Cool. She'll prepare.
Okay. So I got 44. Or no, he's doing nothing. This guy here, yeah. Takes a chop at Chappie. It's coming. Guys, two-handed sword. That's not good. +3 on the critical. 5. Yep. This chap here with the massive two-handed sword basically cleaves this guardsman in two, the one with the spear, and he collapses in a heap, very, very dead. Leif, you're up.
Leif is going to allow, I assume the other guardsman, the wounded one, is going to try and hold past him. Leif will let him past. But otherwise, he's opportunity attack, parry, and movement.
Okay, sure thing.
Including maneuvering closer if he needs to.
number 5. Yeah, this chap here does move back, Pete. He's bleeding. He's bleeding pretty badly, and pushes his way past you, clutching his arm. Any action from Leif at that point?
He'll say, "Keep a watch behind."
Okay. Yeah. Check with the battle axe. Thrilled with his success so far, rushes forward with a massive overhanded chop, brings it down at Leif's head. It's moving and attacking, so he will definitely be operating at a minus. Slight minus.
Leif's parrying.
Yep. How much is he parrying, please, Pete?
40.
Okay. So, and he's got a shield as well.
Yeah, so 60 plus 25 for shield plus 19.
Yes.
So 87 DB?
Yeah. Oh, it's a 25 shield or a 20 shield?
Oh, 20, sorry. It's target shield?
Target shield, 20, yep.
Ah, yeah, no mistake.
Alright, he did move, sorry, I forgot he moved a little bit. Activity mod, he moved 10. Leif. That is 46 and an E slash.
It's been a while since he had an E.
Here is the E coming at you.
Yes. And that's a substantial parry. Wow.
He blocked. You blocked with 20.
No, blocked with 40.
40, sure.
Yep.
Hang on. I actually want to show you this.
Yep. Oh.
I know you believe me. Now, obviously, the critical result hasn't been rolled because I haven't rolled it yet. But coming into the chat, the main game chat now. That's what happened.
How do I decipher this? He rolled a... No?
You rolled a 99 plus a 48.
Oh, 98 plus 48. Cool.
Plus an OB of 95.
Yikes.
Yeah.
And Leif doesn't wear armor.
And
so
Leif
he's a spell user.
doesn't wear armor. So here is the critical result coming at you, Leif. This is the E/R exclamation mark R space D100 coming at you now. 33.
Could be worse.
Could have
been worse.
Could have been much worse. The battle axe comes down. Side wound on you, Leif. You're at negative 10. You're bleeding at 3 hits per round, and you take another 3 hits.
Alright, 3 hits per round?
Sorry, no, I read that incorrectly. It's a side wound. You're at negative 10 to all actions. You're taking 1 hit per round, beg my pardon, and you take another 3 hits on top of that. You are lucky. Very, very lucky. And this, had you not parried,
No way. No way.
It wouldn't be good. It really wouldn't have been good. Okay. Chap here sees what the guy with the battle axe has done, dislikes that, and takes a shot at him. Why the battle axe guy came up to do that? It is pretty weird. Like, it wasn't a particularly smart move on his behalf. He has left his flank open. Bang. And it's a flank. Oof. 18 and a C puncture.
You
Critical.
got the plus 10?
Didn't get the plus 10. Thank you. Thank you. Hang a sec. Take that back. 20. Let's do that again. Stuns is normal. See if this makes. Oh, it does. 20 and a D puncture. Oh, oh, good God. So this guy with the axe just comes up and tries to basically cut Leif in two. Leif, you definitely, you definitely get through that very, very luckily. Your companion, the guy with the spear beside you, sees it, reaches out, and he's really quick with it. Like it happens really fast. Just flashes out with his spear. There's a gap in this guy's chainmail armor, and the spear, Leif, you get a really close look at it, goes in deep. There's not even a scream. There's just this kind of grunt, and that's it. The guy goes down on the ground. The guy with the battle axe drops the battle axe with a clatter. Sound is perhaps something like. And he goes down. There's a fraction of a second pause, and then he just starts screaming, and screaming, and screaming, and screaming in utter mortal agony at your feet, Leif. Next up. Coming. Guy here, what does he do? Does he have a clear shot? Yeah, I'd say. What would you guys say? Is that a clear shot? Looks to be it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely.
Looses his bow again at this guy. Range, neither a plus nor a minus. Doesn't get a flank. Front attack. Goodness me, there are some nasty results. Glancing blow. Hits him for a decent hit, but the critical is reasonably minor. The arrow kind of grazes off this chap here. 17. Goodness me, this is just a complete carnage up here.
Love it.
Love it.
I know you're calculating, but I'm going to have to call that an evening team. I'm really sorry. If someone wants to pick up Keros.
And what an evening.
What an evening. She's got 8 power points left.
Ooh.
Use them wisely.
Ooh.
And her next move would have been to pick up her weapons and move back so other people could move forward, if that's at all helpful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Sorry to interrupt.
No problem.
Jam.
Sleep well.
Thanks so much, team. Good luck.
Good job, Alex.
Good night. Well done.
Good night.
Yay.
Sleep well.
Good night. Cheerio. Kill 'em all. Kill 'em all. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
This guy here just been shot. He's just seen 1, 2, 3, 4 of his companions go down. He's out of there. He starts running back along the bridge. Does someone brave want to run Keros?
I can do it.
Oh,
I
thank
guess
you.
I'm the only one with one character.
Thank
That's
you,
spirit.
Mason. Thank you, Mason. Nathan, you're standing here looking out the fight, and somebody shoots you in the back.
Yikes. She'll scream.
She'll scream. Yep.
Or yell. She's not a screamer, she's a yeller.
She's a yeller, sure. And it's a surprise. Don't get your DB, I'm sorry. That is 208. Nathan, that's I feel dastardly because it's a rear attack, but them's the breaks, I'm sorry.
That's what happens.
What is her armor type? A 6. Yep. So. It's that kind of bow. Ouch. 31 in an E-puncture, Mithun. Hang on. 58. It was 58 over, so it's actually going to be an E and an A. It's +5 to this roll. I am going to roll.
What was the hits?
It was 31. 3-1. Here's the E coming at you, Pete. 2 E's and a knight! Exclamation mark R space the 100. There's +5 to this roll because of the overkill.
Oh! Oh well,
Jesus.
good to get that out of the way.
Oh, Jesus.
Nathan, the arrow hits you in the back of the head. It goes straight through your brain. +25 to the next attack. And Mithana is dead. She collapses on the ground.
Oh, man.
Bugger. Sorry, Pete.
Well, that's the second death save.
Okay.
I assume she gets it.
Of course. And viewers, gentle viewers, as a heads up, as you might have picked up, this is a pretty nasty game. So each character gets 3, count them, 3 lives, 3 death saves, 3, call them what you wills, basically ways to escape the Grim Reaper. And Mithan's already had 1. This is her second. I think with such a severe result, Pete, however, we will say, for argument's sake, actually, before we do, let's roll the A on Mithan. Just a second. Give me a roll, please. No, what am I talking about? I will give a roll. And we'll just do this. This is a 0. If it's another 0, I'm not quite sure what happens here. If it's
But it'll still count as 1 death save, right?
I think so. Here's the roll. I'll get a camera ready in case we need to actually. I'll bring down the result. You can see the camera on screen.
Yeah,
I'm waving.
yeah.
Yep. So.
I trust you.
Okay, 0-1. You're lucky.
Why couldn't that have been the attack?
Sorry, Pete.
No, that happens.
Zip. So, fair to say, particularly because that was such a, that's the worst critical result in the game you can get. Mithan is definitely, she doesn't just kind of get up and dust herself off. She's out. she's unconscious. So rather than the arrow going through her head, she takes a massive knock to the head. She does get a chance to scream, very last second. Actually, hang on. Is that realistic? Would someone? What do you think?
Not really.
What do you think? Not really?
That quick? I mean, no.
No.
But
Okay.
but I think it's gonna. She's quite a big woman. She's gonna make a sound anyway. I think she's gonna alert people. But
Quite a lot going on. Okay.
there's an old Hobley as well. Wounded guys facing that direction.
Okay. So, Mithan, you go down. Wham, thump, crunch. That is the end of that round.
Oh, can I just ask? Does the hobbling guy, who Leif said to look out to the back, say anything? He's got an opportunity to say something.
Leif might have said that's what he's doing, but he's got more pressing problems on him. He doesn't necessarily do that.
But that doesn't. A big woman falling down in front of him doesn't catch his attention. Doesn't elicit a response.
Doesn't seem to. I might ask for perception rolls or awareness checks. I mean, don't forget, there's been sheer murder in this area here. There's been a lot of confusion and noise going on, and still noise going on. This guy here is screaming at the top of his head because he just got a spear through the kidneys. So there is a lot of noise going on. A lot of noise. We'll try for some awareness checks in a second. That is the end of the rounds. Initiative. Leif, what I'll ask you to do, this won't be off your action. It's just simply an observation, like just whether or not your character notices or picks up something. So it's a non-masked roll. Give me a roll, please, based on your perception. Hope for a high result. There's a lot of noise going on.
Uh, 55 plus 40.
No, sorry. The guy is right in front of you. He's like he is. The result of the critical, by the way, is dies and scream in agony. So he is so quite legitimately the guy is screaming.
Serves him right.
Yeah, naughty. So Leif, you don't hear anything behind you. What are your actions this round, Leif?
There's one left in front of us. Correct?
There's one here, yes.
Yep. Leif's going to turn and look for Keros.
Okay.
Because he's bleeding and he needs it cauterized. And
Yeah.
he's at -10 and he's just lost 50 hits.
Yeah.
So he's going to turn around to go and look for Keros.
Sure. Give me this. So is it a 30% observation roll or a 10 or a what? Just to kind of survey and track Keros down in the chaos.
30, because the rest of his action is walking to her and asking her to
Sure thing.
help. That's what his intention is. So he's actually intending to go and look for her.
Go for it. Give me a roll.
Oh, 2.
2. Roll again, please, Pete.
Oh, Jesus.
55.
Okay. 2. Minus... Sorry, what did you say? 2 minus, what was it? 55?
55 plus 40.
Plus 40. Okay. You're the least observant. Now, this is I'm giving it a plus 20 to this roll because it's a pretty obvious, thing to kind of spot. That is still, however, a failure. Blood in your eyes, Leif. You don't notice Mithan on the ground. Just you look in the wrong direction at the wrong stage, whatever, or you're just in pain. You don't even see it. You spin around. You catch Keros. She's over there. You're going to head towards Keros.
Correct.
Cool. I mean, had that been pretty much anything other than a failure, Pete, and you would have you would have spotted Mithan. But call it pain, stress, whatever. You start heading over. Okay.
Yep. Cool. Thank you.
Next actor, Neathanel. Again, just an observation check. Did you hear anything directly? And it would have been directly behind you.
61.
61. What's your perception?
75.
75. Yeah. So, you definitely heard over the screaming of this man on the ground, the sound of a large body, possibly even a bowstring twang, from behind you, and the sound of someone collapse behind you.
Well, I'll spin round,
Okay.
and if I see Mithan down with an arrow sticking out of her head, I will scream at the top of my voice, attack from behind.
Okay. Cool. That exactly happens. You spin around, you see Mithan with an arrow, well, not out of her head, but certainly on the ground and completely out to it. And you scream, attack from behind. Anything else you're doing?
I actually had I didn't get to act the end of last round, did I? Anyway, I had an opportunity action at the end of... Anyway. So, can I just have a look at the back? Can we go above? Because we're quite familiar with this area. She's stalked down it. What in terms of that passageway, what does she know about it?
Yep, so it goes down a few feet, then turns a corner. A few feet? Yeah, well, not a few feet. 10, 15, something like that.
And that, in terms of getting out of the gaping archway, there looks to be a space to the left, is that correct? Maybe from above, would that help? No, over the entranceway to the arch.
I don't know what you mean.
Could we look down on what we're looking at? Sorry, a bit fiddly.
Oops. Damn it.
Ooh.
Yep, that's as far as we can go.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to see if there was a sort of an area she could... is there a sort of cubby hole to the left that she can duck into? I'm not quite... Maybe it is better looking down on the floor if she can't...
It is. Yep. On. Boom. Just... And we'll go from this perspective.
So as we're looking to the left, there's a sort of boulder that's loose.
You mean over here-ish?
Yeah, if she stood on that, is she open to the cave mouth?
No.
Then I think she'll run there with her sword.
Okay. Okay. Give me a running roll, please. At this distance, it's trivial. It's like... Oh, maybe it's not. No, it's...
44.
44, okay. What's her agility, please?
That's 35.
Okay. Yep, she gets over to... Yeah. Oops. Yep.
She then... I presume she's got something left her around. So if anything comes around that corner, she will parry against it. If it's a bow, she would probably attack with whatever she's got left.
So it was... what did I say it was? So just to figure off what it is, how much she's got left. It's 30... Call it 35 foot away. So can you do some calculations, please, to figure out how much action she's got left and whether she can attack? But she is there. She's kind of standing to one side of the mouth of the tunnel there. All right. Next up is he is dying. Okay. Yeah. Demos, did we give you a go last turn? Did you get a turn last round? What did I miss?
Nathaniel and I didn't get around. Nathaniel and Demos didn't get around.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I wasn't too sure because my laptop, well, Jacob's laptop, decided to restart in the middle of all of this.
Okay.
So I missed a bit.
I'm sorry. It looks like I missed a round for you both. Apologies. Demos, good to have you back with us. Unfortunately, somebody tries to shoot you with a crossbow.
Rude.
Quite. So, where this fire is coming from is there are various people around here, and now that people in front of you are either dead or dying, because you've just either ice bolted them or stabbed them or done other horrible things to them, their companions are deciding to exact revenge. The range is about 100 foot. Sorry, Demos, that's 12 and a C on you. And I tend to roll 3 of these tonight. Have I rolled 3 open rolls? Anyway, this is my third and final for the night. R exclamation mark RD100. Coming your way, Demos. It is a 12 and a C puncture from this crossbow. 69. Demos, this bolt flies out from the other sides of where you guys are from and clips your neck. You're stunned 4 rounds. You can't parry for 2 rounds. Add plus 15 to your next... Oh, yeah, add plus 15 to the foe's next attack. No additional hits. You're not bleeding any, miraculously. But for 40 long seconds, you can't do anything. And for 20 seconds, you can't parry, unfortunately, Demos. Wallop. Keros. You were running Keros, I think. Demos? Wasn't Keros?
Yep.
Keros is here. She's just heard Nathaniel scream attack from behind. You've also just seen Demos take a crossbow across the neck. What do you do?
Nick? No.
Don't panic!
Did I hear... Because did Leif come running up to me? To Kiros?
Yeah. Leif is
well?
beside you, assigned you. Yes, correct. Beside
Okay.
you or around you, yes.
I feel like I'd turn to Leif and... Oh, yeah, turn to Leif to see what's happening, but also kind of peer out around, behind Leif to see kind of what's going on over in that space as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
see
You tell me what's happening.
Yeah, so turn around, ask Leif what's wrong, just kind of, while she's asking, look around to see what's going on behind and
Yep.
but like listen to what Leif's saying at the same time. Yeah.
Yep, okay.
She's a woman. She can do that.
Cool. Fair to say. Also, a perception roll. So give me a perception roll, please.
Uh, 60.
60. What's her perception?
Perception plus. Oh, hang on. Sure, it's the right one. Plus 48.
General perception plus 48.
Yeah.
Yep. So look, good enough to take in the scene. Oh my God, Mithan's down. Niathanel's moved over there. You catch a glimpse of a figure just around in the gloom. This tunnel is moderately well lit, however. A figure down the tunnel, preparing. Looks like they're about to fire a bow this round.
Oh no.
What-
I think she'd.
Leif, you've just been asked what's wrong as well, or what you.
Oh yeah.
What's happening?
Leif would point at the archway.
Yeah.
And say wood wall.
Ooh. Okay.
And then want to stumble to this and take cover. Would be his thoughts.
So you've turned around, you've used 30% of your action to have a look around. So you've had quite a good look around. You've spotted what I've described. Leif's just said that one word to you. What do you do, Keros? And bearing in mind this isn't your character, so it's hard to judge.
Can I? When I've heard Alex say like snapcast a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Can Keros snapcast a wood wall?
So snapcast is in Rolemaster you prepare.
Yep.
Preparation's important. Yep, you've picked that up.
Yeah.
No preparation results in a negative 30 to the dice roll.
Right.
However, Keros, just the way she was born, she's special. Frankly, in other words, a role from her background as we were creating the character allowed her a very special ability, which is rounds of preparation don't apply to her. So, or they're more limited. So she starts off with 0, so plus 0. But if she prepares, she gets the bonus.
Right.
So she's not affected. She is unusual and highly useful that she is not affected by that negative 30 penalty.
Okay. Can I cast?
Sure.
I cast wood wall?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so because she's only got so many power points.
Sure.
Okay. I'm so nervous.
Give me a roll, please. If it's
62.
Yep. If it's a 0-1 or a 0-2, it would have been a failure. That is successful. What's the description of the spell, please, and where do you cast? What do you do?
Creates a wall of wood up to 10 by 20 by 2. It must rest on a solid surface. It can be burned through 50 hits for a 2, I'm assuming that's inch, round hole, or chopped through 20 mad rounds, or toppled if one end is not against the wall.
Cool.
So I'd put it in front of the cave wall thing, the door frame. That's not a door frame. Yeah.
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 Okay.
Leif pointed to the archway.
Oh, the archway.
Well, you put it wherever you want.
I'm so.
No.
Wait, the archway or the. Okay.
Well,
I thought you were pointing at the cave wall.
You do what you want, Mason.
I'll point it. No, I'll put it where Leif told me to.
Yeah.
That actually makes more sense, though. No, against the archway. I do apologise.
Yep. Thanks for that, Pete.
Thanks, Pete.
Okay.
I'm just gonna get us all murdered.
No, you should do what your character wants to do. Is the point? Okay. So you're putting it where, please, Keros?
Can I, if
What is the
she was
width of
to
it?
put it where the guy, that the bad guy is standing, would he be like flicked up by it or something? Because he's in the archway.
I'd put it slightly behind him. You'd trap him in.
Okay.
So what's the what width is it, please?
It's got 10 by 20 by 2. I don't know what that means.
Too thick.
I thought it was 10 foot high, 20 foot long, 2 foot thick. And it's up to, so she can make it however long she wants.
Yep, true. So the distance across is 21 foot. So it would go to kind of there.
So it'd be like, okay, a tiny bit off. And then 10 foot high.
Yep.
Yeah.
In a sec. Oops. Boomfa!
A gift from the gods.
A gift from the gods. A block of red. How about that? A big block of red. Just give me 2 seconds. Bang. Here is my... Go. That's what I wanted. Alright. So something like that. Just let's spin round. Going that. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. There we go. Cool. So I'll pick this up, put it down. No, we won't. We'll flip it. Oh, goodness me. There we go. This wood wall just doesn't want to... There we go. Doesn't want to behave itself. We've got to colour it appropriately. Brown. Go. We will lock it in place. Spin it. And spin it like... No. Solid. There we go. Move it to there. Extend it. Boom. See, it came up to what about there? 21. About 10 foot high. 6 foot character, so call that there. Bang! There is suddenly a wall of wood, which is obscuring completely the battle map. There we go. Nice one, Nathan. No, Keros, I should say. Keros, you've got 25% left to act. What do you do?
I guess move back. Did she see Leif's injury?
Leif is not quite as back. Far out there. Yes. Did she see Leif's injury? Did she see Leif's injury? She rolled pretty well. She glanced round. Where were you hit, please, Leif? Can you recall?
His side, I think.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. And you're bleeding how much, please, Pete?
One per round.
One per round. So he's not gushing in blood. Yeah, let's say she spotted the fact that he's injured and he's asked for help.
I guess she'd put a hand over the wound and just put pressure on it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, Leif, you are no longer bleeding.
Yay!
Oh yeah, good idea. Thank you. Why didn't I think of that?
All right, next up. So literally, like seconds, like a split second, it was, the bolt was already in flight. There's a and two certainly, maybe three, bolts or arrows, smack, 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 into the wall. Had that wall not been there, those projectiles would have come right at you guys. This chap here. He glances over his shoulder, and the expression is quite priceless. Like, I mean, he's come across magic before. I guess everybody in this world has, to a greater or lesser extent. But even so, you don't think he was expecting a wood wall. He spins around. He kind of comes back, and he just does this just incredible double take impersonation. Like he just like, what the hell? Where did that come from? He looks at it, looks around at the rest of you, throws his longsword on the ground, and puts his hands up. Perfect. Thank you, Demos. I just saw that. Yeah, exactly. So where the fuck did that come from? And he just puts his hands up. He surrenders. Etienne, what do you do?
Well, he's right in front of this guy. So he's going to maneuver himself, put his sword up to him. And seeing that he is surrendered, he won't strike him down because he isn't that kind of guy. But what he will do is go behind him with his sword in his back and push him forward towards the cave entrance.
Okay. Cool.
Keeping behind him.
Yep, got it. Whoops. Okay. You get a wee way. Whoops, sorry for the messing around with the figures. Yeah, by the time you kind of get round, maneuver him, etc., you get to about here. You're right behind him, your sword's in his back. Nice. This guardsman here, who's been speaking to Mithan in South Tongue. Dagran. Sees the wood wall go up. Can you just tell me, can you remind me just of the spell, please, Mason? It needs to be resting on one side. And it can be pushed over? Can it be pushed over?
It can. So can be chopped through or toppled if one end is not against a wall.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Thank you. Good to know, that is. He spins around, looking for Mithan, and cries out. I just need to do some maneuvering here. Oops, a daisy. Sorry about that. I had the wrong angle on. Hang on. Boom. Here we go. That's better. Spins around, sees Mithan, cries out, pointing at Mithan. Cries out something. The only one that can speak South Tongue is Demos, from memory, correct?
He can. It's only a 3 though.
3.
At a
That's
3.
no. That's it, for the little he's this guy's saying. It's more than enough. Demos, this is what he yells. Maybe not. Perhaps too dramatic, but.
Ugh.
He says something for the rest of you who don't speak South Tongue. He says something incomprehensible, and with his spear in hand, just leaps as fast as he can over here. Oops. Next up. Yes. From down the tunnel. Let's have a look at some juicy targets from down the tunnel. Nathan, you're down. Demas, you're stunned and still standing. Etienne, you have a man directly in front of you with a spear, with a sword at his back. Let's just have a look at this tunnel. Yeah,
Can I say, can Demos speak
Yeah.
even though he's stunned?
Say 3 words.
Is it 3 words?
Yeah.
He'd say, hang on, Archer behind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. So his targets. So the targets really are. Now, Leif, correct me with what you said your actions were, please, because I think you might have said something else, and I don't want to have missed it.
Oh, he had run round to look for Kyros.
Yes, he found. Yep.
Wanting to get healing.
Yes.
He had pointed to the archway and said Woodwall to
Yes.
her when she questioned him.
Yes.
And then he said to her, "Take cover," because by that time, Nyathanel had yelled. So if he had any action left, he would have also taken cover. I don't know if he had extra movement, but when he started his declaration of action, Nyathanel hadn't
Yes.
started. But since then, she had, and he would have wanted to. If he had more movement, he would have moved absolutely.
Yes, and particularly with the shout from Nyathanel, I think that's fair. And he only moved from kind of here where he was attacked, or slightly further over here where he was attacked, to there. It's a very short distance. He's only said something, so yes, I think that's fair that he would have had more action in that round. Where would he have moved to, Leif? I think
he would have continued to move left, and if possible, he would have dragged Kyros with him, if possible. If she had.
Oh well, she was. Oh no, but Kyros had stopped and had put her hand over your injury. So by that, I'm saying she would have actually physically stopped you.
Oh, he wouldn't have let her stop him.
Okay.
He's going. There's someone who's just shot Mithan in the back of the head. But if he could have, he would have put his hand on her hand and dragged her with him if he has the movement.
And I hate to say it, but probably if I was an archer looking up a tunnel, I would, looking out at this field, these people are all down. I've got a choice between a little girl and a warrior. Sorry, Demos.
Sorry, Demos.
Oh no.
Just for what it's worth, I'd choose the guy in the middle. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too.
What, this guy?
No, the other one.
No, the one next to it. Yeah.
No, obviously.
Yeah, and all the confusion. He has no idea what's going on. He might miss.
Nice try. Demos, shot coming at you. You are, unfortunately, stunned, no parry. That means, well, you couldn't have parried a shot anyway. And he rolled a 93, the attack roll. Would you have got your shield? I'm going to say you wouldn't have. I'm sorry, you wouldn't have got your shield. That is a colossal hit on you, Demos. I'll screenshot it. Not that you don't trust me, but ouch. Coming into main game chat. Now. Okay. And the roll. So 232 minus 150 is 82. There are some amazingly high rolls tonight. Demos, you wear rank 9 armor. This guy is using that kind of bow. 9. Shivers. 41 in an E puncture. And that was the critical.
Ah, man.
How many lives has Demos had?
Demos hasn't died yet.
He has now.
No!
Welcome to the club. You get good XP for it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm here for the XP.
You're noting the damage and everything and the crits and stuff because you get it.
It's actually higher than that. So that was. So Demos, I'm not going to roll the additional crit on you. There was an effect for collecting XP. That was an E, so that 41 hits, and an E and an A critical.
Dang.
Wham. Now it was a fatal roll, as was the roll on Mythan. The roll on Mythan was 100, so it's the most severe you could possibly get. This one wasn't, so, and the resulting critical, actually, to be fair, we should roll that A, just to see if anything really bad comes off the A, and if you have any residual kind of effects off the A. So, is the A crit? I'm going to roll it in chat. Exclamation mark R space D 100. Oof.
You can take that back.
Ouch, Demos. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know, I was going to say the dice don't like you guys tonight, but, did I say an A or a B?
You said A.
No, it's a B. It is a B.
Oh, it's a B. Okay.
Yep, it's more experience.
Yeah. I'm already dead.
Yep. So, let's just... Interesting enough. So, the reason I'm rolling this additional crit, because the injury was so severe that you got 2 criticals, was basically if there was some injury on the critical that would roll over into when Demos recovered from this happening to him. You're kind of lucky, Demos. It was a roll of a 90. The result is strike to back of head. This might sound familiar. If foe has no helm, he dies. if foe has helm plus 6 hits, and foe is down for 2 rounds. Demos didn't have a helm in between. He hasn't had the opportunity to find a helm yet that I'm aware of. The good news is, however, that critical didn't result in another injury that would affect him later in the game. So for kind of non-gaming, for kind of metagaming purposes, in a parallel universe, the arrow from the tunnel shoots out, catches Demos right in the chest, pierces his heart, and brave, gentle giant Demos collapses in a heap in the ground, very dead, with an arrow sticking out of his chest. That's in an alternate universe. In a separate universe, the shot comes out, it grazes your head, as per that second critical Demos. It just clips you in completely the wrong place, and you collapse on the ground unconscious, but still alive. But Demos, one of your precious death saves, is now gone.
Yay!
You're out for a bit, whatever a bit is. I'm not going to say for the next bunch of sessions or anything like that, because we've had enough of that, haven't we? Not again. But certainly, yep. You're unconscious now. Demos, you go down.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Kind of. I'm really sorry. Okay, done. Okay. This guy number 5, where is he? Seeing my guardsman. 1, 2, yes, 5. He also takes cover with his companion over here. Mython is down. That was going to be Demos's go, unfortunately. He's stunned anyway. Oops. Back, number 7. What's he do? This chap here with the bow, who's been a main contributor in the fight, like Leif, presses himself up against the wall with his bow out and starts to kind of inch his way along with his bow out, pointed down the tunnel, moving his way cautiously along that wall. That, the end of the round.
So Neathanol's got 75% of her action left. But what does that count in terms of preparing?
Preparation is 90%.
So it doesn't build up then.
No.
No.
Sorry. There's loading a bow counts over into one round to a next. Preparation doesn't, unfortunately. It's a 90% action. Well, what does she do for her 75?
Well, there isn't an awful lot she can do. She can't cast.
Unless she's got instantaneous spells.
She can always cast without preparing.
Well, that means 90% to cast, though, doesn't it?
No. Casting a spell is 75. Preparing a spell is 90. Casting a spell is 75. Preparing is 90. She can cast a spell.
Okay, because she could throw an air wall up over that entrance. It would at least give us time. Alright, she'll cast. What's the minus on that?
Negative 30.
30. So if I get under 30, it's stuff up.
Yep.
Yeah, well, we can't be shot, can we? All right.
She's doing it.
Yeah.
No pressure.
33.
33. Minus 30. Just check. She doesn't wear armor, does she?
No.
Really sorry. So, 33 was the roll. A result of 1 to 4 is a failure. Spell fails.
Okay.
Would she have base spells?
Not for a semi-spell user.
Not for semi. Okay.
Yep. Give me a roll, please.
31.
31. Yeah. So she loses the spell, but not the spell points. So basically, in her haste, in her panic, she's so desperate to get the spell out that it just doesn't happen. She just doesn't cast. She doesn't lose the power points.
Okay.
That is the end of the round. It's 8 minutes past 10. I could go till 10:30. I'm also happy to wrap it there. What do people want to do?
I need to go to bed. I've got a massive day tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I need to rest.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm going to call it there too. Actually.
It was fun.
It was a game of two halves, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There were ups and there were downs.
Oh, I would.
Good fun.
Yeah, I think that, I don't know, it was noticeable how that new change of rule really...
Yeah, do we like it or don't we like it?
I didn't like it before this game. I don't like it even less now.
Yeah.
It swings both ways, huh? It does.
Yeah, my vote would be to think again. But anyway,
I agree. Yeah, I think it's makes a vicious game quite even more vicious, basically.
So somebody there, I think, or was it Keros? I think they got plus 14
Yeah.
on a critical. That, yeah, changes things a bit. Have a think, guys. That was a particularly brutal fight. Some nice moments there from everybody. Some good rolling, some good strategizing. Nice work, team. I hope you enjoyed that.
Good.
Carios will get Vader.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Nice work. Mason, really bad luck on your first character death. Yeah.
It's alright. It was pretty dramatic, pretty epic, and I feel like Demos hasn't had any real XP for a while, so I feel like that's gonna pump him up.
Do you want to hand with doing? If you want a hand with doing that, sing out. More than happy to.
I might. I'll give it I'll have a crack.
Sure.
And I'll get you to maybe have a look to make sure I've done it right.
You bet.
Okay.
I'm off for the. Sorry.
That's right.
Go.
I was just saying this might be mission cancelled. I think
This might be what?
mission cancelled. I think.
Bad luck, Ningwen. See yous.
We don't need to know that badly.
Why don't we just go on holiday somewhere? Let's go back to that bloody island.
Go back to that island.
Go back to our little
Haven. Yeah.
Ca-
No one
Carrot
was
gone.
attacking.